Iranian officials blamed mechanical issues for the crash, while Ukrainian authorities said it was too early to determine the cause. By Phil Helsel, Amid Milk and Yulia Talmazan. A Ukrainian airplane thought to be carrying 176 people crashed after takeoff in the Iranian capital, Tehran, on Wednesday, killing all on board, according to Iranian state television and Ukrainian officials. Hossein Kulavand, the head of Iran's Emergency Medical Services Agency, told state TV that all were killed, according to the Associated Press. Iranian state TV reported that the crash was suspected to have been caused by mechanical issues, it added, without elaborating. Ukrainian officials, meanwhile, said it was too early to determine the cause. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said that he had received reports of the crash that indicated all passengers and crew died in the crash. He extended his condolences to the families of the victims. The plane's operator, Ukraine International Airlines, UIA, confirmed the incident, saying 167 people and 9 crew members were on board the Boeing 737 when it took off from Tehran International Airport en route to Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, at 6:10 a.m. local time, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. It disappeared from radars a few minutes after departure. The airline expresses its deepest condolences to the families of the victims of the air crash and will do everything possible to support the relatives of the victims, a Facebook statement from the airline said. With immediate effect, UIA has decided to suspend its flights to Tehran until further notice. The airline said it was in close cooperation with the aviation authorities and would take all measures to determine the cause of the crash. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Vadim Prystaiko tweeted that 88 people on board were Iranian, 63 Canadian, and 11 Ukrainian, including 9 crew members. 10 were from Sweden, 4 from Afghanistan, 3 from Germany and 3 from the United Kingdom. We express our condolences, he said. The Ukrainian government continues its investigation. Video from the scene showed what appeared to be pieces of an aircraft fuselage, an engine and other debris. UIA's Vice President of Operations, Igor Sosnovsky, said in a press conference earlier Wednesday the chief pilot had more than 11,000 hours of flight experience, almost all of it on a Boeing 737. The airline said the aircraft was built in 2016 and delivered directly to the airline from the manufacturer. The last scheduled maintenance took place on Monday, it added. An investigation will be conducted with the involvement of the aviation authorities of Ukraine, Iran, representatives of the Boeing manufacturer, the airline, and the National Bureau of Air Accident Investigation of Ukraine, the airline's statement said. In a statement on Facebook, Ukraine's president asked everyone to refrain from speculation and putting forward untested versions of the disaster before the official announcements. He later said he instructed the country's attorney general to open criminal proceedings into the crash. We have to work out all the possible versions, Zelensky added. Regardless of the conclusions as to the causes of the crash, the airworthiness of the entire civilian fleet will be examined. Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine also urged Wednesday not to rush to conclusions about the causes of the crash. We already have a certain amount of information to understand what is happening, said Oleksiy Danilov, adding that 2 planes will be dispatched from Ukraine to bring back the remains of the victims. Meanwhile, Boeing Company said in a statement, "We are aware of the media reports out of Iran and we are gathering more information." Reports of the crash came hours after Iran launched ballistic missiles against U.S. and coalition forces in Iraq as retaliation for the killing of a top Iranian general by a U.S. airstrike. The Defense Department said Iran launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles early Wednesday local time. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, issued notices to airmen outlining flight restrictions in the region Tuesday night. The FAA said the notices prohibited U.S. civilian aviation operators from flying in the airspace over Iraq, Iran and the waters of the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. The agency said it was closely monitoring events in the Middle East.